Who is Trav? Well, Trav is a longtime player going by the name of Death, who has been around for over 6 years so far and has become a prominent figure in the Curse of Aros community. He's gained the trust of the vast majority of the player base, popular enough to be one of the select few chosen as an in-game moderator. Before the rule breaking, on his previous Discord account going by the username 4NI and the display username Fornicator, he would be normally trading a few low-tier items like any other regular player, when suddenly he would be trading significant amounts of gold for items just right after he was selling basic materials and early game equipment, as shown in the following screenshots. The evidence of the clear RWT by Trav/Death. Around the same time as the trades mentioned earlier, he is clearly shown to have RWT'd with a mule account with the name of Bib Booby, an amount of 960 million gold, confirmed by the head of staff and community manager Skill. Around 8 months later, on the 17th of November 2021, he trades a player by the name of Kaze via his ult Sniped, which is confirmed to be him from a message he sent. The transaction involved 1 billion gold and a soul saber, as proven by the trade logs revealed by Skill, showing Trav trading 1 billion gold over his ult Sniped, after then RWTing it to Kaze. Whilst these are the only trade logs we have managed to acquire from Skill, there have been way more RWT trades than meets the eye. The Epic NPC Marketplace. Epic NPC is a video game marketplace forum where Trav has done his RWT activities, including the ones with Kaze, Bib Booby, and more than we ever thought. Firstly, the trade with Bib Booby. Upon further investigation, a Discord account by the name of Billion7269, who does transactions in multiple games including Curse of Aros, was found to be owned by the individual mentioned earlier to be one of the people Trav has RWT'd with. Bib Booby's trade offer thread can be shown when searching the website for Curse of Aros COA and looking for messages by Billion7269. It was created way back on the 19th of September 2020. By looking into the sum of the thread's comments, there is a review by the buyer listed on the forum as 95***31. And 2 days later, on the 27th of April 2021, the same user 95***31 says, "Bought 1 bill gold, fast service, thanks again," showing the user buying another 1 billion in COA gold, equating to a total of 1.96 billion from Billion7269 or Bib Booby. The first forum post date by this user matches exactly with the trade log shown earlier by Skill about Trav real-world trading, which confirms the fact that 95*** is Trav's Epic NPC account. Secondly, the Snipe to Kaze trade. After the trades with Bib Booby, Billion7269, Trav RWT'd 8 months later with a person by the name of Kaze, also mentioned in an earlier screenshot by Skill. Trav traded the RWT money to his ult Sniped, then to Kaze, with the dates matching up on a review he left on the 17th of November 2021, the same day on those trade log screenshots, on the same website Epic NPC, on Kaze's profile, there with its name as Gozamai. Through this comment, we can open the account and find the rest of Trav's posts and comments, which got banned for buying/selling stuff and not giving his customers anything in return. His account is named 954, explaining why it displays the name as 95***31. On feedback comments, all reviewers' names seem to only show the first 2 letters of the account name, followed by 3 asterisks after, regardless of the name length. Returning back to the transactions done between Trav and Kaze, Trav has been found leaving RWT offers on Gozamai's profile, Kaze, on a different thread where Gozamai is looking to purchase a level 115 Curse of Aros account, as well as COA gold. The information in this thread does not directly relate to any RWT done by Trav yet. However, if you scroll down to the comments below, there are 2 of them posted by 954, who is Trav, with both of them matching the date and time and the items previously shown in the trade logs by Skill. And finally, trades with Veruvi. Unfortunately, it was not possible to get any trade logs for this case from any official source such as a mod, but it is important to know that the trades with Bib Booby and Kaze are not the only instances of RWT by Trav. There are 2 reviews Trav has left on one of his trade threads by a person named Ruruvi, sell gold, 43 mil / 1 USD, on the 19th of April 2021, saying he bought 110 mil gold, and 4 days later on the 23rd of April 2021, saying he bought 1.5 bill plus in total off him. Staff response to Trav's actions. Going over how each of the 3 most high-ranking figures handled the situation with Trav. Being Bart, the current solo developer of COA, Ben, also known as Arrow, who was also a developer at the time of Trav's cover being blown and of similar authority as Bart, and Skill, the head moderator and community manager. Skill's response. It has been proven that Skill was 100% aware of Trav's RWT, where he initially thought Trav was gambling the money and not RWTing it in the slightest, claiming Trav showed him all the evidence of him doing it, but it turns out all to be a lie. What is ultimately known from this was that Trav did get previously banned for RWT around July 2022, but he manipulated the staff to get out of it by fabricating conversations, trades, and fake gambles. Who knows if this could be the only thing he lied his way out of. To add to it, there has been a player who has been recognized by Trav as a scammer from Habbo Hotel when he joined the server and warned about his actions and how they may have manifested into COA, which actually turned out to be true. To be entirely fair though, Skill was visibly and clearly pissed about this. He has commented during the same conversation with his ex-guardian Hamer about how he was dissatisfied with how the way things turned out to be, with Trav getting away with basically 0 punishment. Skill has in fact tried to confront Trav about it. He was quite adamant on the fact that Trav has committed a huge mistake. While his attempts were way overdue, he has tried to put down the fire a little and get Trav to do something about it. Well, at least he was trying to actually face the problem instead of avoiding it here. As while he acknowledges the fact that Trav has gained the trust of the people despite being a fraud and a liar, he wants to do the correct thing and ban him, but it seems like he is implying that the other team members, namely the devs, would not want things to go that way for Trav, as they believe in his second chances, even though he has been a scammer for years and it wasn't a one-time thing. This sets a really bad precedent for the firmness of the game's rules, because not only does it encourage rule breaking if you can get away with it for over 3 years, it's telling that you are high enough in the hierarchy of players you can RWT as long as you don't get caught over a prolonged period of time. To give Skill the benefit of the doubt, he has talked about how both sides of the situation have put him in an awkward position. He does not want to ban him as that's what should have been happening, whereas Bart and Ben decided to close their eyes on the Trav RWT case. How did Bart and Ben handle this? The 2 developers handled this situation as if it didn't matter to them and they were just trying to get it over. They have heavily implied that they don't plan on banning him or at the very least giving him a demotion and moving on with it. But rather they seem to think giving him a second chance is actually the best way to proceed with this, which is something quite odd considering the fact that all banned players do not get a second chance, ever. Instead they have to deal with it, as they should, which is not the case for Lucky Trav. What doesn't help Trav at all in his case was the fact that he never came clean and talked about it to absolutely anyone when he got promoted. He was actively trying to hide the fact that he has RWT'd before and is just making it worse for himself. The point Ben has made here about Trav struggling to get promoted was a complete lie, considering he was given full status as an in-game moderator, higher than his current rank at the time of Discord mod, less than 3 weeks later on the 10th of April 2024. Skill had the same idea about Trav being unable to acquire a promotion ever again and will most likely be stuck at his position. However, it has become quite clear that Skill has no control over decisions Bart and Ben make. It's becoming more and more clear that Skill was not intending on things going this way, and he was only trying not to sour the image of the mod team, and Bart just told him to let it go and forget this whole thing even happened, which is quite literally the worst possible way of proceeding with this and not actually handling it instead of brushing it off. Bart was obviously trying to pass it off as nothing major. Meanwhile, as Hammer mentioned earlier, if someone he knew had RWT'd 4 whole years ago, he would 100% get banned without a question, which is something that seems like for sure the correct way to handle things and do your job as a moderator. But for someone like Trav, they'll try to sway the conversation out of it. It is evident that there is a clear bias towards him. Meanwhile, Trav has no accountability over what he has done, and when confronted about it, he doesn't want to even apologize about his past activities, and maybe be the good person in this situation, but no. as he will also continue banning other players for way less, smaller offenses, and even if it was 3 years ago or even more. In closing, this exposal is solely dedicated to bring justice to Trav, which is what he's deserving of, thinking about all the people he banned on pointless, baseless things by Trav, but if he's really about being a true moderator, then he would resign and not admit to it to skill only after he was already exposed by asking for sympathy and mercy. He should face the consequences, same as everyone else, before him and after him. Special thanks to Hamar for aiding us in bringing the truth to the light, and goodbye.